The freaking intro did not work today, so we went live cold there. Man, I hate it when it does that. But it is going to be, for better or worse, just me this evening. Y'all give me an audio video check down in the comments. Looks like we've got 176 people already lined up for the start of this stream. I appreciate y'all joining us. Like, that's crazy. I grew up in a town of like 200 people. The fact that we got now over 200 people here already is amazing. We're gonna have a good evening. I'm going to start with a little Eagle Rare 10-year-old here. And the reason I'm gonna start with a little Eagle Rare 10-year-old is there's a chance, there's a possibility that this may be going the way of the dodo bird. The Eagle Rare 10 might be done. Now, it might not be, but it might be. And we'll talk about that a little bit. And I've got all the bottles over here from the whiskey haul on last Friday's video. We're gonna give those a try as well. When am I coming back down to Florida, Isaiah says. J-Rock's trying to get me to go down and do a rum pick here in March. So that'll probably be it. Probably in March sometime. Yeah, so rumor, well, not really even rumor. They literally submitted the label through the TTB. Cumming Whiskey posted it on his Instagram. It's this label, but it is now 12 years old and 95 proof. Now, we talk about why that probably could be a replacement for this bottle right here. This is a fantastic bottle of whiskey. At MSRP, one of the better values in whiskey. A 10-year-old Kentucky bourbon. I wished it was a little higher proof, but it's still fantastic at 90 proof. The problem is especially those barrels coming from Buffalo Trace. 10-year-old Buffalo Trace barrels, worth a lot more money than they're getting for these bottles of Eagle Rare. And people get mad if they just keep jacking the price way up. So, you know, there's a couple of ways to handle that. You can just jack the price up and let everybody be mad. You could continue to not make as much money, or you could just hold those barrels for 2 more years, change the proof so the perceived value is higher, and then you could just charge a completely new price for those exact same barrels. So basically just hold them 2 more years, which means nothing to somebody like Buffalo Trace, and God knows what the MSRP on that 12-year version is gonna be. Probably substantially more. I would assume double plus what the MSRP on that bottle is. So it makes sense from a business perspective to do that, to raise what they're making off of those. I'm hoping it's in addition to this 10-year product, but the labels are just too similar for that to be the case, in my opinion. How are you liking the Russell Single Rickhouse? It's a good one. I still lean more toward the 15 there, Chris, more so than the Single Rickhouse. James Elliott says, binge watching Brewzle for a couple of weeks. Thanks for the great videos. Having a little bin holiday. Nice. Well, thanks for joining here. Like I said, we got a lot of bottles to get through over here. We're going to hang out, and then I'm going to jump over into the supporter-only chat in Discord as well. If you're a new member, if you're a channel member here, or if you sign up for the patron, there's instructions over on Discord to link those accounts so that you can join that audio stream after this one. Well, the proof, yeah, on this one, the label that was submitted is 95 proof. So not going all the way to 101, but more than the 90 here. Man, that's so good. I'm sure a 12-year-old Eagle Rare will be fantastic. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. I'm sure it'll be worth more money than this one, but I hate to see this guy go away if that is indeed what ends up happening. Pure speculation on my part. I am not an industry insider in the slightest regard. Y'all want a bar tour? I could do a bar tour if you want. Y'all let me know if that's what you want to see. Anyone know Old Granddad is James Bond's bourbon? James Bond, like 007? I have not had Speakeasy bourbon. Do it? Okay, bar tour. All right, so I'll do the bar tour. Give me a second here. I got to set the camera up so we can move around. Now, I know a lot of y'all that hang around here a lot have probably seen the bar for the most part. I need to make sure the audio is not on for this camera because it gets really, really bad. All right, so this is y'all. I'm not going to show, I don't know if that's some information we shouldn't be showing. This is just a tabletop I've made for now, temporary, because I spent all my budget on the bourbon and the shelves. Now, we've got a little producer desk over there that has just holding stuff right now. It does nothing, but we've got some plans for the live stream. We had our leadership summit at Brewzle here this week. I've got some plans. We're going to bring somebody in. We're going to do some higher production live streams, but it's just floor to ceiling whiskey. I mean, you've got some mess here. We had a bunch of people drinking, and I just slid everything off to the side for now because I didn't have time to properly clean. But floor to ceiling whiskey all the way around. And then over here is just more bottles that need to be processed and put up. This is AA Run, the dishwasher right here. Of course, the custom cabinet. This is where the drains and stuff go up. There's a place for a sink here. I've just put temporary countertops. We had this made to hold like Glenn's. Most of them are in the dishwasher. But we have a place for glassware and different stuff. And then it's just truss work all the way around. I want to go in here, again, a mess because we had a bunch of people here. This is the game room. This is where we had our summit. And then this is the old bar where we used to film stuff here. I could turn the lights on, but it takes using this phone to do it. And of course the atrium with the infinity barrel and things that we've dumped. So that's pretty much the sign my brother made me there. That's pretty much the tour. I mean, you see this used to be shorter. I raised it. I haven't finished it out, but I'm probably going to put a more substantial desk here at some point in the future. Let's see, get back to the... All right, so that is the bar tour. Hopefully that makes sense. No golf sim? No, I suck at golf. No simulator is going to make me better than how bad I suck already. Oh, my goodness. Do you think they'll keep that bottle and remove the age statement so you get younger Eagle Rare than the 12-year? I don't know. I don't know why they would keep both if they're so similar in design. Don't know why. Makes no sense to keep both of them in the market. So my guess is it will be replaced, but that's just pure speculation on my part. Jill is not going to make it tonight. She went down to Will's house, and she's going to be hanging out down there. She might be in the comments, but she's not here to tap me on the leg, so we're going to have a good time. Thoughts on Speakeasy? I don't know anything about Speakeasy. I do have a Bardstown Disco 12. What are we doing tonight? We are trying all of the whiskey from the last drop. Right now, I am having a little Eagle Rare 10 as tribute, and then we are going to start going through the bottles I picked up in the last bourbon hunt. Michael K says, what do you think about the crazy priced Widow Jane Black Opal? What is so special about it? Also, my first pour of the night is John J. Bowman. John J. Bowman's good stuff. I'm really loving the cask strength that they've got into the market, if you can find it. Let's look at this Black Opal real quick. I got to get it to where I could just like pull it up and share it with everybody. That's what we need. It wouldn't be too hard with this. So 20-year-old, I'm curious as to what they used. Like, a lot of Widow Jane uses some George Dickel, which has that minerality that a lot of folks don't like. I'm not sure if this is, ooh, I'm getting a text message on something I got to pour. 100 proof, 20-year-old. It just doesn't sound like it's anything particularly different, just old whiskey. But for $600, no thank you. No thank you. Speakeasy from Willits. All right, I'll have to check that out. Any news on Brewzle Fest? I don't know if I can say. Like, I don't, my team gets mad at me if I say things we have a date. We have a date locked in. We are trying to get a few distilleries just to commit. Like, we literally start that process this week, get a few to commit so that we can start letting everybody know the dates and the details. But that announcement it's going to be at some point in February. I can't say. You talking about behind here brick wallpaper? That's not brick wallpaper, Marco. Come on, man. Marco don't believe that he believes I got brick wallpaper. Like, come on, Marco. Do I need to show you? I need to prove the haters wrong. We get accused of so many things. Like, everybody thinks we fake everything. It's crazy. It is crazy. Here, Marco. Look, Marco. Look. That's a grout line right there, Marco. That's a brick, Marco. That's a brick. It's a brick. It's a brick, Marco. It's a brick. All right, what will take this place? They're doing a 12-year-old Eagle Rare. Green screens are really impressive. All right, man, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. Don't believe it. We bought all of our views too. Just go ahead and believe that. You can't touch it like that. You could do this in AI, I'm sure. All right, got bricks like Gucci. Let's see. Let's go through. I don't know if y'all watched the last bourbon hunt, but let's start going through some of these bottles. I'm going to start with a little Wild Turkeyeth. Turkeyeth? Did I just call it Wild Turkeyeth? Jesus Christ. We ain't even got started drinking. I'm already calling it Wild Turkeyeth. Wild Turkey, 70th anniversary, 8-year-old. And I've heard, I think it's kind of confirmed at this point that, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I heard that they are bringing an 8-year-old to the U.S. market. And so that this will be, the 70th might not be something you can get, but the 8-year-old will be making it to the U.S. market. If you drink more, you care less about the comments, it's fine. We're going to get some hate. It's okay. I do have some Wild Turkey 12 there, Sean, and it is absolutely fantastic. Yo, Tim, what's up? Appreciate the support. Thank you for the super chat. You ever do a liver cleanse? I don't, but like, my liver's fine. I don't drink that much. That's what's fun about it. I haven't really drank hardly anything since, other than a little bit with the team, since the last live stream. Ah, man. Look at Stu saying my brain's getting pickled. Thank you, Stu. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Can I show what is a liver cleanse? I don't know. It sounds like you run some water through your liver. All right, so rare bottles. You see the bottles back there. All the rare ones, most of the rare ones are just right here, so you can see them. All right, let's give this a proper review. Now, with this being Wild Turkey 101, 8 years old, it's blended to a little different profile, though. They were going for a little different than the normal Wild Turkey 8-year profile. It's got a little more oak, obviously, than a Wild Turkey 101. To me, it's a little harsher on my palate than the export only. Like, it just kind of hits my palate different. I'm not as big a fan of this as I was the export only, and definitely not as big a fan as I am of the Wild Turkey 12. Like, I think that's maybe the best product that has the Wild Turkey name on it, minus some of the, Master's Keep stuff. So I like it. This is a good bottle of whiskey. And at MSRP, like, it's a fairly affordable bottle of whiskey. I think I paid a little bit of a bump for it, but not too much. Overall good, but not like, I'm not sure I would sit down and sip that neat in a Glencairn and finish that bottle. Not in this selection anyway, right? Like, I wouldn't go back to that a whole bunch because it's good. It just doesn't elevate quite as much as the 12 and maybe that 8-year export only. And yeah, if it's at Costco, if it's $30, that's a great buy. Like, give me a freaking break. At $30, sure. $40, yeah, buy it. But, you know, something like this, like the 8 year's good. Where'd my 12 go? Oh, somebody must have got my 12. I think my 12 is in yonder. Let me grab that 12. So this 8 year, I like the export only. Who had my 12? Where'd my 12 go? The team here was here all week drinking whiskeys, and now I'm missing bottles. Uh-oh. I know they didn't take it, but like it probably got shuffled around and put somewhere. Maybe it got slid behind something up here. That's not it, is it? That's just 101. Oh, it got pushed all the way to the back. Uh-oh, I might not be tall enough for this one. Barely. I need a step stool. There we go. 12 year. Oh. This is like, my goodness. I am so frustrated that this is not in the U.S. market. Tommy, don't do it. Don't Google that, Tommy. Don't Google it. Oh, my goodness. Like, that is just so vanilla and oak. Like, it is just over the top how good that gets at 12 years old. This is not okay, this 4 more years, right? This is a 4-year difference. But if this is what happens to whiskey when it hits 12 years old, we should not be bottling anything less than that. Because that is magically delicious. I'm pretty sure that slogan's taken. But that's what Wild Turkey should put on that one. Thoughts on Cooper's Craft Return? I haven't seen a Cooper's Craft Return, but I love Cooper's Craft in general. Bottle of Elmer Tea Lee for $90. Okay. This is not available. You could probably get this in like a duty-free shop, maybe if you're leaving the States. This one came from the Philippines, and I've got a backup that came from somewhere, but not in the U.S. as far as I know. Never seen it. I don't know if they drop it in distillery only or something, but I've never seen it for sale. Rock Hill for $80. I would do that. Absolutely. That's a good one. Brewzle in the house. What's up? All right, so we've got a couple of small local distilleries, Oregon distilleries, I believe. Or this is an Oregon distillery that made both of these. It's Stein, S-T-E-I-N, like, unless it's, I mean, you got Sheehan, right? Sheehan, which is the, like, export company. So I hope this is not Stein. I hope this is Stein. Looks like Stein. Reads like Stein. We've got bourbon and we've got rye. And let's give them a try. Try some Indian stuff. I think I might have some Indian whiskey up there. Nah, if so, the stuff I had is not great. But that's not all of it, right? There's a lot of bourbon up there that's not great. So what are we starting with? This is the bourbon whiskey. This is 100, or no, this is bottle number, barrel number 80 proof. 80 proof. I would like more than that. Oh, yes, I will get to the Woodinville here in just a second there, despite. Am I cheating on the DPZ? So I'm out. Jill stole them all. We had like 5 of them left. And when she left to go out of town, she took them all with her. And I just realized all I've got are Sprite Zeros. But, you know, DPZ hadn't stepped up with the sponsorship. I wanted a soda fountain. You ain't got to pay me. Just send me a fountain. Like, just put me a DPZ fountain in here. They're not going to do it. They actually have an influencer person. I reached out. I was like, I don't know if you want to sponsor an alcohol channel. They didn't respond. So the clout level's not there. I thought it was hilarious. I thought a response would have been hilarious. Oh, okay. This is little too much barrel impact, you know, but it's definitely like that kind of soft, harsh, dry oakiness. I sometimes describe it as a dustiness. It's not quite dry enough here for me to call it that, but it is just dry oak tannin. Maybe a touch of cinnamon on that. And that's kind of what it is. It's got a little cinnamon flavor to it. And then that dissipates into just kind of that classic sweet bourbon with a dry oaky finish. Overall, like, you don't drink a Wild Turkey 12 and then come to this. We didn't do it any favors. Overall, has some promise. Like, I think they could do something here. I feel like this one might have been, you know, it might have been small barrels or got a lot of heat and it, you know, trying to push the aging to get it out a little younger. But overall, seems like a pretty good whiskey. I say that, and then it says it's 5 years old. So maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the type of barrels they're using. Has some promise, but definitely a little on the craft side. Let's try the rye. Same issue here, 80 proof. 80 proof. And these guys are in, did I say Joseph, Oregon? Joseph, Oregon, I believe. I don't know, my eyes aren't good. The camera was never meant to spin around. Oh, to show this? No, I don't mind showing this as far as spinning around there. I just don't know if, like, I'm showing my stream key, or I haven't verified that there's nothing here I'm not supposed to show you, right? The rye smells better. Got a little spearmint note. Kind of a dark brown sugar sweetness to it. This also says 5 years old. Kind of similar in that, you know, it delivers on all those things. A little soft spearmint up front, dissipates into kind of a caramel brown sugar note. Doesn't have the harsh oak on it that this one has, but it's 90 proof whiskey, and I don't, like it, it's just 90 proof whiskey that was aged in a less than ideal climate. So probably gonna have to be a little older, gonna have to be a little higher proof for me to be like just in love with it. But as far as small producer whiskey goes, they've got a good start going here. We got Dan and Phantom. Phantom, two months, 5 proof membership. Cheers, appreciate it. And Dan joining the 5 proof club. I have not had the Penelope Havana, have not. And we cannot yet ship to Michigan. I assure you, as soon as we can, we will. And I don't have an answer on exactly when that will be happening, unfortunately. All right, let's move on to, what have we got next here? High West Cask strength. This one is North Medford. That's not the store we got it from, but I haven't even opened this one yet, so this one hasn't even been drank. Honestly, I don't think I've had a High West Cask strength. This will be a first for all of us. Oof, great cork pop on that. That sucker was just waiting to pop. Steve Paul with the super chat. Appreciate it, Steve. Thanks for the support. Bourbon Dad would love a Green River barrel pick. Such a cool place and perfect for a distillery takeover. That is happening. We've had some conversations with them. We've just got to find the right time to try to get up there and do it. So they sent us some samples, just kind of playing around. We were looking at them maybe for our blend for our own brand as well. I think we could get a Green River pick. We just got to get up there and do it. And it's fantastic. Like Green River Cask strength. If you find a Green River Cask strength, it's like $40, $45. Or if you can find somebody that's got a Green River single barrel pick, buy it. Those are fantastic, especially for the price. The Havana is pretty freaking good. I hear. I just haven't seen one. Like if we're out and about and hunting, we could find things. But like this month, we got a lot of things we're working on. We're working on a lot of changes. We'll talk about some of those changes. I get y'all's thoughts on some of them. But like right now, I'm just not on the hunt. So a lot of new stuff's coming out right now, and I just hadn't been able to find one. Man, that's nice. Wow. A blend of straight bourbon whiskey. So this is not a single barrel. I don't know if this is a small blend, a private blend for them maybe, or what. It's got like their name down here, but it's not a single barrel. And of course, High West has some of the most beautiful glass, that kind of hand-blown look, you know, with their logo on it. Just a beautiful, beautiful bottle. That's a nice whiskey. Like, how do I even describe that? The thing is these days, most of the time, I am looking for something odd or unique or weird, or like one really strong defining characteristic that I can explain to folks. I try not to be like a 4 tasting note guy, right? I try to give you like the start, the mid palate, and the finish. I try to give 3, kind of what it's doing there. I'm not trying to, give you all the tasting notes. I want to give you the defining characteristics of it. The problem with this is there's nothing really unusual about it. It's just good bourbon. And there's no real weird, unusual, standout characteristics that I can convey to you other than it's good. Like, the proof is great mouthfeel. It is just kind of that quintessential sweet caramel forward bourbon. There's a little bit of something on the finish there. It might be just a hint of clove. It's just freaking good. Like there's not like some of them, like the Old Dominick cask strength, like the rye really stands out on that. You've got that Weller Antique where that little burst of red fruit come through. This, just good bourbon. High West is out of Utah, Park City, Utah. So you're thinking, these are not out of Oregon. I bought this out of Oregon, but High West themselves are out of Utah. Columbia is the official. I reached out to Columbia too, and they also did not respond. So I was like, hey, can we make this official? Can we at least say, hey, this is what we wear? The reason I had that idea is somebody sent us photos recently of their Halloween costume, and it was just them with one of these little mics clipped on, and so they were just wearing a Columbia shirt and the mic clipped on, and everybody knew they were me, and I was like, that's pretty freaking funny right there. So we need to like officialize this relationship with Columbia. Didn't work out. Ooh, North Florida Bear has 3 dependents. So about to have that refund money. That's good. That's the best thing I've had tonight from this haul. That's not better than the Turkey 12, but I do like that better than the 70th. Oh, that's nice. All right, next, Woodinville, 8-year. Pipe Dream. So the Redwood Empire stuff is fantastic. All their cask strength, high proof stuff, especially fantastic. I heard they just bought Savage and Cook Distillery. I need to reach out to them because last time we talked, they were gonna open up barrel picks, but they couldn't. Like they were moving, they were doing some stuff. Now that they bought that distillery, I'm wondering when they'll have shop set up there. We can go do some barrel picks. We want to get out. I want to get on the West Coast. Maybe get over to Woodinville. Maybe get over to Redwood Empire. Do some fun stuff with them. West Coast is just hard though. So freaking far away. Lord. Anyone looking forward to Eagle Rare 12? We were talking about that a little while ago, Jay. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it being harder to get or more expensive than Eagle Rare 10. Central Washington. Yeah. We're gonna go to Washington and try to hit the whole West Coast, right? Jason was just in the library at Holiday Saturday and tried all your picks. They said we just missed you. Proof Queen 3, Proof Queen OG, Brewzle OG. Can't wait to get on your next. We got a lot more coming. So I think there's quite a few that are not bottled up that are not in the library yet. So we got a lot of holiday coming. All right, so this is a little different. This is unusual. Now, they also sent me a Founders Edition. I think it was a 12-year, and I'm trying to remember which one I liked better. This one has like a little bit of like dark fruit. That dry oakiness is coming through, but there's like almost like a damp, almost like earthy note to it. It's kind of like what's a better way of describing that? Like kind of like damp earth. Real subtle though. Man, that is just like sweet cinnamon for days. None of that kind of earthiness. That's different. That's different than I remember. I tried this bottle, and that is different than I remember it. Maybe it opened up. Yeah, just hits my palate. Maybe a little bit of that earthiness up front dissipates into a really nice soft cinnamon all the way through the finish. That's a lot better than I remember. This has a more distinct, unique flavor than the Middle West does. I think this one would be more mainstream for folks. Like, you don't have to be into the weird stuff to like this one. This one is a little different. It's a little off. This is more what I find myself looking for and sharing with folks, is a little more of those kind of weird, just unusual flavors, like that strong cinnamon, that little bit of earthiness. But I have to be careful recommending that, because I don't want somebody to use their hard-earned money and they're looking for a little more classic style bourbon, right? Oak and Cedar, your channel inspired me to start my own channel and share my love of spirits and cigars. Keep setting a high bar for the rest of us. Thank you, Oak and Cedar, and I hope the channel goes really well. It's a lot of work. But keep at it. You'll figure it out. If you have any questions, ask them. I'll do what I can to help. All right, we've got one more bottle in this drop, and then I don't know what to drink. Like, what am I going to do at this point? I don't know. But this is a fresh bottle of Rock Hill Farms. Now, I wasn't planning on opening this right now, but my bottle of Rock Hill Farms that was open got drank. And so I guess I have to, right? Like, I have to. I have to open it. I'm out of Glencairns. I need to get some more of those. But, I mean, y'all let me know. Should I open it? Should I not open it? I was just going to keep it around for a while, look at it, feel special. But we don't really have a collection. We have a selection. And selections are meant to be opened. I just want to make sure that I don't have the Rock Hill. I think it got drank a couple of weeks ago. Look at there. Everybody wants me to open it. Well, you know what? A lot of people think if you open your whiskey, you ruin the value of it. And to me, it's useless if I can't drink it. So, put it up against Elmer T. Lee. That is not a fair fight, my friend. That is not a fair fight. And for those that haven't seen Rock Hill, let's see if the bottle cam right there, is that still, oh, that didn't work. Bottle cam didn't work. The bottle cam's off. I can flip it on. I'll flip it on. I will flip it on. James Foley says, please take a shot of Ryeogen. I don't have that, James. I don't know what that is. Miracle Martinez says, open it. It's my birthday today month. It's my birthday today month. All right, let's try this one more time, see if this now works. Bam, look at that, Rock Hill Farms right there. Beautiful bottle. Beautiful, beautiful bottle. Got horses all around it. But it's not what's on the bottle that matters. It's what's in it. We got 1,900 people. I'm pretty sure that's the most amount of people that have ever been watching me on a live stream at one time. Hit the like button. See if we can break 2. See if we can break 2. I will try the drink of y'all's choice. I mean, I can't get everybody's choice. Like, we're gonna have to vote, or I'm gonna have to like pick something. If we can get it over 2, get it over 2K. Oh, is it a Christmas bottle? There's not Christmas bottles, are there? There's same bottles. I think they're all the same bottles. I don't know. It's just a bottle of Rock Hill. That's all I know. Dickel tobacco. See, I was betting on the Kentucky Arkansas game the other day with Will, and he had me drinking the Dickel. I was already drinking Dickel Tabasco last night. Sipping on your pick of Woodford Double Oaked and the Knoxville Merchants Wine and Spirits pick. Think yours is a bit sweeter and more flavorful. Nice. I can create a chat poll. We'll try to set up a chat poll. Let's get it over to 1948 right now. We need 52 people, and I will drink Dickel Tabasco, and then we'll also take a poll. We'll just have to get 3 or 4 different things for y'all to pick from. I don't even have a 15 open. I don't have a Pappy 15, I don't think. I think mine got drank. I have 1012. I have, some B-Tacs, but my Pappies have gotten depleted, and I tend to give them all away, unfortunately. Thoughts on Mary Dowling? I just got one. Do I have a Mary Dowling? It sounds familiar. I think somebody was talking about it the other day. I don't think I have one. I will tell you, though, this Rock Hill Farms is one of my favorite, non-B-Tac Buffalo Trace products. Non-cask strength, non-B-Tac Buffalo Trace products. Probably tops of that list. It is God, I don't know. I think I like this better than I like E.H. Taylor. I think I like it better than I like E.H. Taylor. Single barrel E.H. Taylor right here is what I got open. I don't think I have a small batch open. I do have some small batches I'll have to dig through the closet for, though. Let's try it. Let's try it. I can't blind it because I don't have Jill here, but we haven't hit that 2K yet. We're close. Ooh, that cork needs a little soaking. We got to soak our corks here. I'm gonna have to start taking these bottles and flipping them over. Some of these corks getting mighty dry. Dickel Tabasco barrel pick, not gonna happen. Mash tun, not gonna happen. We can talk about some of the changes and some of the cool stuff we're working on, though, but it won't be a Dickel Tabasco barrel pick. 1995, that was a great year, wasn't it? Lord have mercy. We hit 2K right there. We hit 2K. All right, do I have, Kyle, can you set up a poll, or I don't know if any of the guys are here. They were all traveling today to get back home. Seth's here. Oh, okay. So that's good. That's good. That's a little better. That's a little better. So let folks, y'all suggest some bottles. It's got to be bottles that I have. I can't drink a bottle that I don't own. And then we'll poll it out and we'll try anything you want. Honestly, I'll do my best to blind anything you want. No Cedar Ridge barrel proof from the DSM hunt. I do have it. I'll give it a try while we're trying to figure this out. I was just trying the ones from this past hunt, but I do have it. Let's see, I'm trying to catch up here. Raijin is a Japanese whiskey, complex yet delicate, changes flavors on the palate compared to a Walker Blue, a truly amazing experience. I will have to look one of those up, James. Walker Mac, my old lady got me hooked on screwdrivers with salted caramel vodka. She calls it second breakfast. Tastes like pancakes, I swear on my right hand. That actually will make a note of that, because one of the channels, we're bringing back the mixed drink channel here on YouTube. You know, me and Will are going to work on that, so we'll have to give that one a try for the mixed drink channel. Cedar Ridge barrel pick, or barrel proof, excuse me, right here. Cedar Ridge. I'll give them a fresh Glen to make this worthy. We don't want to like taint them with a used Glen. I need to just get a bunch of Glens. We're going through a whole bunch of them. Michael K, let's see a Dickel blind just to see what happens. I got quite a bit of Dickel over there, though. I need to check and see what all I've got. I don't think I have a 19 Old Fitz. I do have a 17. The 13 got drank. That's gone. I think I have like an 8 or 9 and a 17 over there. All right, Cedar Ridge. That cork is in there, seriously. So this was Iowa, is that right? Des Moines, Iowa Hunt, I believe I got this one. Number 3 char, barrel proof, 116 proof, Cedar Ridge. We do need a database of all the whiskey. We had an Excel sheet we were working on, and I kind of fell down on that. So it's been a while since I've had 10 Cup whiskey. The stuff I had wasn't great, but it's been a while. Jim Beam Double Oak, Tim wants me to have. Jay Duffy, am I crazy? I have George T. Stagg for 2023 and Stagg Junior 24B and 24C. I prefer the Stagg Juniors. The Stagg 2023 was good, but it wasn't necessarily the most exceptional. The depth on the Staggs, though, like not the Juniors, it's just like what makes a George T. Stagg special is really subtle. And if that subtlety's not for you or you're not picking it up, then the Stagg Juniors are just as good. Okay, so this definitely has some of that barrel char on it. It's sweet, touch of clove, and then just barrel char. What is that note in the mid palate there? It's different. I would say it hits me with some of that clove up front, and then it dissipates into like red fruit. Like, I don't know what that it's like a dark fruit. It's not exactly a raisin. I don't know if it's like a plum note maybe. And then the barrel char just kills me on the palate. So, interesting for a craft whiskey. This has some really good things going on for a craft whiskey. I would be interested in trying some single barrels. I think with some single barrels of this stuff, you could probably find something that's got some of those, because an interesting note, like a plum note, really interesting note. Clove, I'm not like the biggest fan of. The barrel char, not so much, but I think this has more interesting things going on than the shines, but that obviously is cask strength versus, what was it, 80 proof whiskey. So overall, good craft whiskey, but it still has to have that craft whiskey qualifier for me to promote it to folks, as opposed to like somebody like Old Dominic. That's not craft whiskey, right? Ben Holiday, that's not craft whiskey. This still has some of those kind of, you know, craft whiskey characteristics to it, but I think some single barrels from them could be exceptional. Like you could find some stuff, like kind of like Leaper's Fork. Like Leaper's Fork stuff, I have to qualify as craft whiskey, but then some of those, like that single barrel I got, out of this world good. Still craft, still weird, still unique, but like, man, is it so good. All right, so I ran 200 people off, but we hit the number. So I don't know if we've done the poll. I haven't seen the poll yet. All right, catching up on the super chats. What is the allocated that's worth the fuss money? I mean, so if you're talking about allocated that's worth the money, I'm assuming you're talking about secondary prices. And honestly, to me, as a drinker, there's not a lot worth the secondary prices. Weller Antique 107 at $100 secondary, I believe that bottle's worth it. Eagle Rare, probably worth a little more than than MSRP, but not worth a big bump. Trying to think, like Blanton straight from the barrel is really good, but I wouldn't pay much, if any, more than MSRP for that. King of Kentucky is one of the best bottles every year, but like secondary price on that's stupid. So there's not a lot worth the secondary price if you're drinking it, right? If it's your money. Do you have the Woodford Double Oaked? I have a Woodford Double Oaked Auric, but not the latest release in like the 750 milliliter bottle. I've got the old distillery only release, and it is fantastic. Known Prodigy, big fan, having trouble watching videos on Patreon. It tries to make me sign into YouTube, but it won't allow me to click the link. Seth in the chat there is your guy to help try to figure that out. Now, you have to make sure, check sometimes a lot of people have 2 patron accounts and they don't realize it, and they're signed up for a patron tier, but they also have a free patron account, because I think it creates you a free account when you go over there, and sometimes you're in the wrong one. So make sure you're in the right account, but hit up Seth. We'll try to get that figured out for you. Sam says, used to work at Virginia Distillery. Glad to hear you like the cuvee. Hit me up for a sample of Cask #1. Sounds pretty freaking good, man. Walker Mac, fitness, not a whiskey guy, but fell in love with Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve. Makes amazing whiskey sours. We need to do more mixed drinks with Scotch and Irish whiskeys. I would be interested to see if I can find mixed drinks that go really well with those flavors for my palate. Wendy says, end of days, Wilmington, North Carolina. I don't know if Wendy's trying to tell me that the world is coming to an end in Wilmington, North Carolina, or if there is a whiskey called End of Days in Wilmington, North Carolina. But I appreciate the super chat, and give me a little clarification. Is that something I should be looking for? James Foley, any ghost or rare or super weird Scotch on hand? I mean, I got a lot of Scotch. We can pick a Scotch. You want me to try a Scotch? Still trying to get a Heaven Hill 18 for the groom's party at my wedding in April. Good luck. That is not an easy one to find. All right, I'll show y'all the Scotch selection up there, and then y'all tell me which one we should try. And I haven't seen, it's a distillery. Kyle says that End of Days is a distillery in North Carolina. Well, that's good, because I didn't want the world to be coming to an end, so I like that. All right, let's go to the camera here. All right, make sure the audio is not running on that camera, because it sounds awful if it is. It is not. All right, so we've got some Canadian stuff and different things here, and then we start getting over into some Irish whiskey, and there's some like different versions of Silky behind there. I don't know if y'all can see those, but then there's like different Compass boxes, several of those back there. We got some Springbanks, a couple of Dalmores, Lagavulin, sorry, I didn't mean to say it right. Glingoing, Macallan 12 right there. So that's pretty much all the selection that I have. So Yellow Spot, I think there's, you can see there's like stuff behind it, like a green spot. Copper Pot Writer's Tears, Double Oak Writer's Tears. And then somebody wanted to see the rare stuff. I mean, it's just right here behind me. For the most part, I'm going to move all these so that they're not right behind me. All right. Try that Lagavulin. I do not have any Malort. Don't. All right, we're working on Eagle Rare 17 on the poll. I don't know, it looks like it's winning. See if I can see the poll. I'm trying to see. What do we choose? Russell 15, Heaven Hill 18. Oof. Eagle Rare 17. I hope it's still back there. It didn't get drank, did it? No, it's right there. All right, let's try that Lagavulin. Southern Distilling. We are talking with Southern about doing a distillery takeover there. So we were up there, I guess January. We were up there early January and just doing some stuff. We're going to do a distillery takeover, a big event with them. So up in Statesville, North Carolina, I think it is. Grab more Glens. We are decimating my supply of Glencairns. Decimating, I tell you. All right. Go for some non-peaty Ardbeg. I had some Ardbeg up there. There's a 10-year. You sure about that? This is the Nick Offerman edition Lagavulin. Somebody's going to get me on this. Somebody right now is typing. That's not how you say it. That's not how you say it. That's what your comments sound like to me, okay? When you type those comments in, it sounds like, that's not how you say it. Oh, God. It is time to break open the Sprite Zero. Oh. I know. There are a lot of people all around the world that love this, that are just enamored with this. Like Nick Offerman liked it so much, he put his face on it, right? Now, he might just put his face on it because it worked for the character he was playing and then, make a few dollars off of it. That makes sense. But there are people that just love this. And I just want to understand it. I want to understand why there are palates out there that absolutely love this. And I know I'm behind on the super chats. I'll catch up with them in a minute. Because that smells awful to me. Awful. Like it is Band-Aids, but like amped up to 11. And I want to understand it. I want to like it. I at least want to know. Like, I at least want to be like, okay, I see how people could like that. But no. I can't do it. I can't do it. Man, gotta get that flavor out of my mouth. Jesus Christ. Oh, just don't understand, man. Don't understand. Just don't understand. I ain't with it. So, we need to do a takeover of Starlight Distillery. Starlight, man, they got out of hand last time we were there. That would actually be fun. We should put that on the list. All right, let me catch up. Let's see. What do you think of JT Mellick? I like JT Mellick stuff. The cask strength, rice whiskey, very bourbon friendly, surprisingly good. I like to be surprised like that. I didn't expect to like rice whiskey, and their stuff is really, really good. Any chance we will see shipping to Tennessee anytime soon? Mason, unfortunately, I doubt it. Like, Tennessee has really cracked down on shipping to their state, and they shut down pretty much every retailer. So anybody shipping into the state's really taking a lot of chances right now. So I just don't think so. Jay Duffy just stopped with the scotch. 99% of us are here for the not scotch. Also, decimate originally meant to reduce. Also, decimate originally meant to. Also, decimate originally meant to reduce by 10%. Did I use the word decimate? Is that what I did? Okay. I don't know. I don't know what words I said. Yeah, I mean, I understand we're here for the not scotch, but every once in a while, we get to have a scotch and make fun of it. And that also is fun, because it's no bueno. No bueno. All right, Eagle Rare 17 appears to be decimating that poll. Right. It's time to drink that bottle for sure. Okay, Elijah Craig toasted barrel proof. Russell, you texted me, I forgot about it. So I need to look into that. Elkwood Reserve, do you have, and what are your thoughts? I do have it. It's right there, right behind me. It is absolutely fantastic. Like, probably one of the better bottles I've had in the last month or so. Really, really good. And so for those that don't know, the Elkwood Reserve is the, try to say this right, wild turkey distillate distilled at Buffalo Trace, aged by Wild Turkey. So it's Wild Turkey's mash bill and grain distilled at Buffalo Trace. And it's weird. It's like it's just weird. It's just a very weird, sweet, almost Buffalo Trace-esque, but not quite, at 15 years old. And it is absolutely fantastic and weird and different. There are a lot of barrels out there, so a lot of brands are putting that whiskey out. It's a $250 to $300 bottle, but it's like one of those things that you're just never going to see again. Like once those barrels are gone, you're just not going to see it. Like I don't even want to, like I still taste Band-Aids, and I don't even want to drink this with my palate like that. So I might have to take a second. Michael K says heavily peated scotch or heavily dickled whiskey. Oh, the dickel. Like honestly, the minerality, if it's an older George Dickel, the minerality doesn't bother me as much. So like a 15, 16, 17-year-old, it almost kind of is a little bit endearing, you know? It's a little bit, okay, I don't want this every day, but it's actually really good. So I would be on board. I'll drink George Dickel all day before I drink scotch willingly. Sunken Norwegian, what are your thoughts on Yellowstone? I picked up an experimental toasted bottle that didn't taste as good as the standard bottle. Most of the, like, I think I've had some Yellowstone picks. I know I've had some Yellowstone picks that are really good, and their limited release thing each year is usually really good. I got to try to get rid of, I have not been to the Willett Distillery, somebody's asking. I got to try to get rid of that scotch flavor. Oh, my goodness. I should have done that last. We do have, somebody sent me Elijah Craig single barrel toasted, cask strength. I have no idea who sent them. The box got discarded. There was no note. So two random samples, and normally I don't take random samples. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just afraid somebody's gonna pee in them or something. And so, I mean, as much as awesome as y'all are and as much fun as we have, there are some people that don't seem to have as much fun watching our stuff. So I'm just a little concerned with just random samples showing up, right? So, but I was curious. So I tried them, and honestly, might be the best Elijah Craig I've ever had. It might be the best Elijah Craig I've ever had. It's so good. Drinking Eagle Rare 17 after scotch is like eating Wagyu after a microwaved hospital cafeteria veggie patty. Nashville Mac is on it tonight. Oh, it's so good. Like, I feel like Buffalo Trace with the Eagle Rare 12 missed a golden opportunity to take it back to 101 proof. Like that's the thing. If it were 101 proof, it's going from 90 to 95. If they had taken it to 12 years at 101 proof and dropped it on the market for $80, $100, I would be ecstatic about it. I would be just over the moon. Like replace this. Give me 12-year Eagle Rare at 101 proof. They didn't. This, if it just inches closer to this. I don't even know what this is. Like each year is different. I know it says 17, but oftentimes it'll have 18, 19, 20-year-old barrels in some of these blended in, maybe with some 17s. If they did the 12, it inches a little bit toward that. Like if it makes a big enough leap like this Wild Turkey 12 did to where it's like that much better than the 10 and a little higher proof point like that 101, man, that would have been special. Any of the orphan barrels worth the dollars in your opinion? A lot of their stuff is not necessarily bourbon. The Fable and Folly I've got around here somewhere over there. It's one of those bottles at like 90 proof. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love the Fable and Folly at 90 proof, Connie. So I would definitely buy that one again. Owen Cruiser, love your videos, mate. All the best from Australia. We got to get to Australia at some point. What have I missed, Tom Black? Everything. You have missed everything. I am trying Eagle Rare 17. I drank scotch. I've drank 57 bourbons. Jill's not here to stop us. We're like the inmates are running the asylum today. Zelvog TV did the first bourbon hunt today. Bought a Buffalo Trace. Almost bought a Russell's 10 I found. Do you think $45 was too much? For a Russell's 10, no, probably not. Like, I don't know what those go for, but it's worth $45 to me. Buffalo Trace at $45 is too much, yes. What's a good whiskey for a new drinker that's not well known but amazing? I mean, the Green River stuff, probably one that's not mainstream yet. If people who are really into bourbon and paying attention are into it, the Ben Holiday stuff is probably... Ben Holiday's still probably the best bourbon, best mainstream bourbon not made in Kentucky. We've talked about Eagle Rare 12 a lot, Alex. Scott Cook with the super chat. First super chat, Scott. Thank you for the support. Eric Nunez. I know you're not a malt guy, but what do you think of the 2022 Jack Daniel's twice barreled single malt? Love the channel. I had that one. I don't remember much about it, but there are some malt whiskeys. So we're going to do a distillery takeover with Southern Distilling in North Carolina. I've got a bottle of his single malt over there that he distilled, column distilled single malt, that is the best non-finished single malt I've ever had in my entire life. Like, don't even tell, like, none of this iodine Band-Aid nonsense. Just fantastic whiskey. And so single malt can be good. Single malt doesn't have to taste like a butthole, right? Like it doesn't have to taste like this, okay? Nick Offerman, all right? It doesn't have to taste like that. And so there are good single malts. Now it's an American single malt, obviously, right? So I had the Parker's Heritage is a malt whiskey this year. That was actually really good. Better, much better than I anticipated. So I don't remember the Jack Daniel's twice barreled single malt, but there are good American single malts out there. David Jenkins, this might be early, but do you have plans to attend Talladega this year? Could that be a meetup event? I don't have any plans, but maybe, like we might could. Let me know if we should. Got 12 bottles in the truck right now. Stag barrel picks. BT kosher hunting on the road from West Virginia to Rhode Island. Nice. I mean, pick up some local stuff. So West Virginia, you might be too high already. The Firefly Distilling live stuff that's over there, those are in like Charleston, South Carolina. So when you get over to the coast, you might find some stuff there. Definitely pick that up. You get up close to Maryland, you're going to find a lot of different, maybe some rare Sagamore rye stuff. The more northeast you get, the more it seems to be rye whiskey. So we should do a Dega meetup, I think. Nothing in North Carolina? Yes, you're going to hit some control states, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. I mean, you could find stuff, but they're going to do drops, right? Let me get that Elijah Craig sample real quick. I want to try this. I want to give y'all my thoughts on, honestly, what might be like a surprise bottle this year. Now, I did hear they're moving Knob Creek picks to cask strength as well, which is really interesting. We've got a Knob Creek pick cask strength that we're trying to work on. Where's this sample? I mean, I'll just use this one. There's 2 samples that were sent. The other one was already open, but we'll try this one. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Fresh Glen. I'm gonna have a whole dishwasher load of Glencairns here. All right, so this again is Elijah Craig toasted single barrel at 122.5 proof. And this is probably one of the biggest surprise whiskeys I've had in a while. Because me and Elijah Craig, I mean, I like some of their stuff. I like some of their older cask strength stuff, but most of the stuff the last 4 or 5 years, I haven't been a huge fan of. I like it, but it just doesn't blow me away. Sometimes it'll have that Sharpie note. I'm not a fan of that. This is just good. And I've been giving these samples like to everybody that comes over. That might be the best toasted barrel on the market. I really like my short barrel toasted though. Like I really like the short barrel toasted. This is a whole different thing than that. Like the short barrel toasted is just apricot and, you know, fruit forward. This is a little darker, you know, all that Elijah Craigness. And the toast is just like really dark sugars, a little bit of like a harsh oakiness, but you kind of want it. Like it's not like bad. It's just like, oh man, we toasted the hell out of this. That's just really good. Like that works much better at cask strength than it did at whatever proof they were putting out the toasted barrels before. Much better. All right, let me see, make sure I'm catching up. Sunken Norwegian, you get promoted to head distiller at Jeffersons Bourbon. What changes are you making to Jefferson's product line? You ask the difficult questions. See, I don't want to get political. And by political, I don't mean like politics political. I mean like biting my tongue and being careful what I say political. I just don't think the Jeffersons Ocean, let's avoid litigation here as much as we can. All of the statements I'm about to make are my opinion, and my opinion alone. Everything I'm saying here is an opinion. It is not stated as fact. There's nothing super exciting about the Jeffersons Ocean line to me. I think it's a really interesting gimmick, and most people are looking for a gimmick to stand out, right? People are looking for ways to rapidly age or age in a unique way. We bought a prison and we're aging whiskey. We have a cellar and we're aging whiskey. Like you're always looking, you know, Ben Holiday has a cave and they're aging whiskey in it. Like you're always looking for a gimmick that gets people excited about your whiskey. And when it came out, the Jeffersons Ocean was a very interesting gimmick. Really, really cool idea. I like it. You know, Brad Paisley put all of his in a semi-truck, and the semi-truck followed his tour, and it ate. I don't know how that's legal. Like, if he rolled through Alabama, he probably violated some laws, but they did it. So it's a gimmick. Now, I think as far as gimmicks go, their gimmick has more of an impact on the flavor of the whiskey than most, but not all that impact's good. I have quite a few oceans over here. Matter of fact, I don't ever go back to them. I don't drink these. We're gonna grab them here. I'm gonna grab these oceans. How many do I have? 3 oceans right here, 3 oceans. We're gonna give you my thoughts on these, and then I'll tell you what I would do differently with these whiskeys right here. I don't know if I'm missing the neck tags from several of them, but let's go back to them. Because I made a short when I first started the TikTok. I think this was before we even started YouTube. I did a short where I was kind of making fun of Jeffersons Ocean and talking about how salty it was. And I think that was one of these bottles. That was probably this bottle right here. And that bottle's probably, so that was 2.5 years ago. And so here it is. And I didn't drink this much of it. This is Voyage 17 right here. 17. And it's just like, okay, so aging on a boat is a gimmick, but like, dude, it picked up some salt. Like, this is one of the saltiest whiskeys. It smells salty. It tastes on the salty side. It's light. It's refreshing. Honestly, is that a rye? It's got a lot. It's blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, but I pick up a very strong rye note. I don't hate it, but I don't hate that. That's not terrible. It is a little salty to me, but not like over the top salty. But little rye, little hint of rye, not like an elevated premium whiskey, but Voyage 22 wheated. Now, to me, this was the best Oceans that I'd had. Voyage 22 wheated. Not as salty. More caramel forward, more classic bourbon notes on this one. That's decent. That's decent whiskey. There's nothing like really defining about it that gets me to like love it or want to go back to it or celebrate it or share it with anybody or talk about it. This is Voyage 21 cask strength. So we're going to get all the heat with this one. Nothing special about that. So, I mean, what you've got to do, gimmick aside, the gimmick's good. Top-notch gimmick. Of all the gimmicks, one of the best gimmicks. Some decent whiskey. This is okay. This is pretty good. This is fine. Like, this is good. It's just like, what I want, though, is some note, some flavor, some taste on this that makes this unique enough for me to scream from the mountaintops that this is special. And these are just okay. And I don't remember what these cost, but they're not like super cheap. So that's what I would do is like, can we, because I think most of these are sourced whiskeys of different types. I could be wrong about that. I don't know where they get their whiskey from. I would just want to do something that makes these stand out because they've got a fantastic gimmick. All right, let me catch up. Carrie Sports Car says, have you had any of the Southern Star stuff from Statesville? Yes. They do a lot of cool stuff. We're probably, it's not guaranteed yet, we're probably going to be doing some sourcing from them for our own Oak Bowery brand. We went up and did some blending with them just to kind of test their available inventory, and the blend we did was out of this world good. Now, that's not the blend we're going to do. We're going to go do a much bigger blend. We were just kind of testing profiles. So we've had a lot of whiskey from them. I've got a lot of it back there. We muled a bunch of it back. They sent us a bunch of single barrel samples to play with. Southern makes fantastic whiskey. I hadn't had anything like from them that was exactly what I was going for, but using 4 different mash bills from them, we were able to blend something that was exactly what I was looking for. Definitely finishing a whiskey on the bottom of the Titanic if running Jeffersons. Good call. Thoughts on Frey Ranch 100% rye. We just bought a Frey rye pick for the Brewzle Club, like a bubblegum rye, like one of the better ryes I've had in a while. Now, we had drank a lot of whiskey before we tried that rye, so I need to like go back to it after being sober, but I've tried a few ryes from Frey I really love, but almost all the ryes I've tried have been there straight out of the barrel, and they've all been really, really good. Have not had the short barrel cigar batch 2. I think I have batch 1 behind me. What is saltier, the Oceans or the Lagavulin? The Lagavulin. The Lagavulin is the wrong way to say it. Okay, yeah, I'll stick to that. Dude, that is kind of salty. Like the Lagavulin is kind of salty as well. I would say I can't taste anything over the iodine, but it's probably similar. Underrated as far as what's worth secondary, I'd say Stag at 150 all day. Is 150 secondary on Stag? If so, that's a fair price for a Stag Junior, to me, as an occasion whiskey. Now, obviously, I would love to have it at MSRP. I think it's better at MSRP. I dislike the secondary market as much as anybody, but like that's what it is. I also accept reality, and if I want the bottle, I'll pay that for it. I've been lucky to be able to find them at $100-ish lately, which is just, I think, a deal for that. Scott Cook says, gun to your head, give us top all-time bottle. William LaRue Weller 2020, number one. Not even, I mean, it is close. But that's the best bottle I've ever had, is the 2020 William LaRue Weller, and we just finished mine about a month ago. Yeah, we're definitely going to take over the distillery at Southern Star. We're just trying to find a date. Probably going to be spring, but we are 100% taking over and doing a single barrel pick. I raved so much about that single malt. They're going to let us do a single malt pick on site there, and I think they're going to bottle it up. So if you come, we'll do a single malt pick. They'll bottle it up right there. You'll be able to buy and take that single malt. And I promise you, even if you don't like scotch or single malts, you're going to like this whiskey because it's really, really good. Jefferson's Tropics. Same gimmick, man. I don't think I have that one. I don't think I have that. I have 3 more Jeffersons over there, but the only Jefferson, like the Jeffersons I have that I really love was their wood experiments. And so they do these, let me grab it. They did this 5 years ago. I'll grab a couple of them. I've got like 5 of them, but they took the same whiskey and they put it in different woods, and you bought a box that contained 5 of these. This is like experiment 4 and 12, and they had a bunch of them, and you could keep buying boxes to get them, but it's the same whiskey aged in different woods. That was really cool because you can really taste the difference in some of these woods. And I hold on to these to share with people, and we just haven't gone back to them. I don't know why these are about to get drank, honestly, because I'm so interested in all of these different wood experiments. I need to start getting on those. Like oak, like literally just oak and cedar right there. Jefferson's wood experiment. I hadn't even read your comment yet. Those are fantastic. Honestly, next live, I will blind those and we'll talk about those tasting experiments. Or maybe you don't even need to blind them. We'll just try them. Bourbon Hall says, consider joining my live this Wednesday to talk Super Bowl and bourbon. We'll be picking props and giving away some whiskey. I don't know if I can. I'll have to talk to the team. One of the things, like we're making a lot of changes. We're making a lot of changes here. We're trying to get more organized. One of the changes is we're going to do more streams for patrons. So we're going to do more supporter streams, try to move to like weekly supporter streams. I'm trying to get to where I can spend more time in our Discord as well. So I'm trying to offload some responsibilities that allow me to spend more time over there. I know Wednesday was the day we were talking about supporter streams. So I will have to see. I will have to see whether or not it's something that I can actually make it to. Mike Zilla, payoff for asking the Wood Hat guy about Corn Hub. Y'all missed that stream. Y'all missed that stream. If you watch the video about Gary at Wood Hat, he joined us for a supporter stream for our drop, and he's really into corn. And I guess it was Mike, I think that was your question, wasn't it, Mike? Asking him about Corn Hub. Sunken Norwegian, Jefferson's aged in the Titanic would be called Jefferson's Ocean Last Voyage. We would call it the Leo DiCaprio version. Tyler, what other brands are selling 15-year wild turkey from Buffalo Trace? We just took a barrel from Old Rick for the club, so we'll have one. It's, again, going to be probably $300. It's going to be, I think, what is it, Old Zach is the brand they're putting it out under. Dude, there's some, like I've got some brokers right now I could buy them. If we had a license, right now I could buy those barrels for, they're $10,000 a barrel, which, I mean, that means they've got to be $300 bottles. Like that's pretty much what that means to get them into the market. We could do it cheaper for the club because we wouldn't need to make any money, but like every dollar you make adds $4 to the cost of the bottle at the end. So I wish we had a license. That's another change we're working on to get our own license so we can do some cool stuff. I don't know any right off the top. I just know there were a lot of those barrels out there and there's a lot of them for sale. So I know the guys at Rolling Fork have some. Like almost everybody that is a non-distilling producer has one of those barrels, it seems, or 3 or 4 of them. Underrated. I'm in Frankfort, Kentucky, and recent batches of Stag are 130 to 160 all the time on secondary here. So let me know if you need any. That's great. I don't buy every batch because we just don't drink through them that fast, and we don't drink through anything because there's like January. So December was 100 new bottles. January was 30 new bottles. Like, nothing's getting finished here. Carrie will follow the socials for Southern Star Takeover. Love all the stuff you do. Got me into bourbon, fostered many relationships in my life, and heavily thanks to you. Appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. Like, that's what this is about. This is about the social aspect. We try to focus on the social aspect. Like, that's all we're trying to do here, right? Like, I don't have a better palate than anybody else. We're not doing anything that's groundbreaking or revolutionary. We're just having a good time. We're trying to share this with everybody, and we want y'all to go out there and share your whiskey with other folks as well. That's really what it's all about. Matthew, we were talking about that earlier. I have not had the Penelope Havana, unfortunately. Well, I come to Michigan. So we did a hunt in, honestly, our biggest, most watched bourbon hunts probably in Michigan. I think it's titled Detroit. I think it was Auburn Hills. Technically, we need to get back up there. So we are working on our own brand. Sometime later this year, we will start distributing that into key markets. Michigan might be first year, might be second year. So I don't know. We got up there for some the Pours in the Park that Bourbon Junkies were doing, and we haven't, like, unfortunately, I didn't get to go this past year. Good news about Old Zach barrel, worth it to you? It's a really good barrel. It's like, as far as like, you're never going to see this again, I think it is delicious enough. The Elkwoods that I have are like $230, $40. Definitely worth that to me. But I understand also that's a lot of money for a bottle of whiskey, and not everybody will enjoy it enough for that amount of money. So I was really hesitant to buy it. I passed on it a couple of times, and finally I'm like, I want to bring this to folks that want access to it, because this is really a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, maybe not once in a lifetime with this bottle, but this window of those barrels being available are potentially a once in a lifetime opportunity, and getting access to those for folks, I think that's cool. Why is Pappy Van Winkle so expensive? Hype, man. It's just hype. It's good. It's good, but it's good, and because, like, it's good, but it's so expensive because it's got so much hype. Scott Cook, what's your favorite Buffalo Trace excluding antique? Well, I mean, so if you're not including Antique 107, like, it'd be Antique 107 outside of the antique collection. But let's exclude that too, because that also has the word antique in it. So no antique. Let's just get the Van Winkle. The Van Winkle 15 is really, really nice. Outside of that, I had a Blanton straight from the barrel bottle that we finished that was better than almost any of the Stag Juniors I've ever had. That bottle was fantastic. The one I have open now is not better than most of the Stag Juniors. It's probably going to be one of those. It's probably going to be Stag Junior or a Blanton straight from the barrel, as far as like the best Buffalo Trace stuff. Yeah, probably one of those. Not sure if my chat went through earlier, but what's your favorite Stag Junior from the 24 drop? I mean, I saw a question about that. I haven't tried them all, unfortunately, Kobe. We don't buy every batch of everything at this point. We've got too many bottles. We're about to have to get every batch of everything, because one of the changes we're doing this year is getting to where we're reviewing everything we possibly can. And that means we need every release of everything. So we're going to be working on that. But I haven't tried them all. Sorry. Kadir, if you come to West Virginia, Maryland, I have a great selection, 300 bottles. I want you to try my Jeffersons Presidential 17 Source Stitzel Weller, aged in the same. Man, okay. So it's like a Pappy 18, basically, Jeffersons Presidential. I've heard of those. I have not tried any of those. So that would be awesome. We were up in Maryland not too long ago, but I don't know when I'll get back. We're going to get up on the Northeast coast there sometime, honestly, maybe spring, but I think we'll probably blow right past Maryland. We got to get north of New York. I got to get all of those states north of New York. Did you ever smoke the Cohiba Bahikis, David says? Yes, and they were fantastic. too expensive for my taste. Like, you know, I'm a little more simple man there, but good stuff. Tulsa. Have we hunted Tulsa? I don't think we hunted Tulsa, did we? We hunted in Oklahoma. Did we hunt? We hunted Tulsa. I think we've already been to Tulsa, Gavin. Bourbon drop in Gainesville this past Saturday. Pick up an E.H. Taylor single barrel with Chattanooga store pick. Made some new friends and tried tons of juice. Like, this is the best place to make bourbon friends, at Bourbon Drops. That is the best place to go make friends. Would you ever create a unique cigar blend to pair with your branded bourbon? So this is what we're thinking with the bourbon. We're going to source stuff. Most of it early, probably going to come from Southern Distilling, as long as we can recreate that blend that we did while we were up there. We are working on a space, our own space, with our own license to set up our own equipment that we purchased from Wichita. We're closer than it looks, but there's just a lot of work that goes into that. Now, even getting the space, all the spaces we're looking at are going to require an awful lot of work to get up and going, and God knows how long it's going to take to actually get a license to start doing stuff. We're going to have to figure that out. Once we have our own space, we're going to source in barrels from different places while we wait, while we distill and wait on our own stuff to age. And we're going to try to work on probably 4 first year 2, second year 4 seasonal releases a year, with the winter release being a cigar blend, which means, some sort of cognac or Magnac finish. But like, can we do that like sweet cognac finish and ramp up some red fruit, like really go after some of the early Joseph Magnus cigar blend flavor profiles, right? Like, that's the type of stuff we're trying to get to. And I went today and looked at a building. It's very promising, but it's too early. I'll know a lot more this time next week. I don't know if I'll be able to share that with you, but I'll know a lot more this time next week. So, Kansas City here. I don't know. I just, all I know at this point, I don't think I made it to Tomstown. I don't think I made it to Tomstown there, Sea Dog. I do know I had somebody comment, if I ever come back to Kansas City, they were going to make sure me and my son regret it. I was like, what did I do to you, man? Any videos upcoming? We do have a video filmed at Southern Distilling. I don't know when that'll come out. That's one of those so one of the changes we're trying to make is we're trying to move to 2 videos a week, every week. So right now we focus on the Friday videos, the bourbon hunts, the distillery takeover, or not distillery takeovers, but the profiles of interesting people, right? A Crittenton's, a Detling, Gary from Wood Hat. And then when we have time, we edit a Tuesday video. Unfortunately, some of those Tuesday videos have just taken a while. Like, we released the Kentucky Bourbon Festival months after it happened. And, it's just like we dropped something the other day. It was like months after it happened. We got to get those a little faster. Like, we're adding some more development talent, or editing talent, to speed those up to get a Tuesday and a Friday video. We want a good Tuesday and Friday video every single week, where Fridays are bourbon hunts and profiles. Tuesday, we're going to do more studio stuff right here, talking about the top 5 bourbons for beginners, or, just more studio, kind of editorialized opinion commentary type of content. So we're working on that. And so that's, we've got a lot of work to do there, but we're trying to get more videos. And so I think we'll get that one out fairly soon, but right now just doing that one would be what we call a Tuesday video. And that just takes a lot of time for us to edit right now, because we don't have enough editors to do them that fast. We are releasing a buffalo turkey. We have agreed to buy a old, I think it's Old Zach buffalo turkey. I don't know. It's coming from the folks at Good Times, and that's their brand. And they've got some of those barrels, the Old Zach brand, and they're usually pretty quick. So I don't know if it'll be in the next release or the one after that. The next release is coming up, like sooner than later. So My assumption is it'll be a couple of releases from now. What'd you think of Oregon? I actually had a good time in Oregon. It's a bunch of state-controlled small stores, but it was beautiful, and we had a really, really good time doing it. So, and this Friday's video is another Oregon hunt. So we're finishing out the Oregon, and I want to say did I buy it? I think the Rock Hill came in that one. I think the Rock Hill may be from this coming up Friday's video. Is there a Blanton? We do have a Blanton's barrel, yes. We are trying to get enough barrels into, that one's sitting in California. We do most of our drops from Texas. We're trying to get enough barrels. So the Cuvée cask, single malt from Virginia Distilling, we've got several barrels sitting in California. I just need enough of them to do a drop. We gotta have like 8, 9 barrels to do a drop, and we have like 3 or 4. So it's coming. I don't know when. We just gotta make sure it's sitting there ready. We just gotta have enough whiskey over there to do it. Headed to Iowa City tomorrow to cover the basketball game. Any liquor store recommendations? Dude, the only thing I know about Iowa is the Des Moines area where we did our video. And I would just have to watch the video to remember the names of the stores. All right, guys, it is 9 o'clock. I'm going to call it for this evening, and then I'll hit this super chat that just came in. I'm going to jump over to Discord. This will be an audio chat, so if you are a supporter here on YouTube, or if you're in the Patreon, there's instructions in Discord to link your account, so you can jump in there, you could come on stage, you can ask me questions, we could talk back and forth. It's not just you typing stuff in and me responding to those on the camera. So make sure you do that. Hypothetically, I have a Pappy 15 for $1,400. Pop it. I mean, if you own it, drink it. Yes, absolutely. If I'm saying, like, is Pappy 15 worth $1,400? If you're going to drink it, it is not. So appreciate y'all watching. Had a great time. This was a really good stream. I didn't know what we were going to do without Jill here and how bad it would go. And we only tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We only tried 16 whiskeys tonight. For not having Jill here, that's pretty freaking good. I took very small pours of them. I feel very adultish in how we handled this stream. Overall, a good time though. Appreciate y'all hanging out. It's good to be back here live streaming. We should see y'all back again next Monday. I plan on streaming next Monday. I don't think there's any reason we're not going to. Got a lot of fun things planned this weekend, but should be back here by Monday. So I'll see y'all over on the supporter chat in Discord here in just a few minutes.